All right, guys. So everybody, I feel, watched the Red Bull Straight Rhythm this weekend, and what stuck out in my mind? 3 riders. So there's one rider that has never lost even a heat race, never has lost a run, and that's Muskin. Another rider that got second, which was Kenny. Well, why is Muskin faster than Kenny when Kenny is so precise, smooth, fast? And then the last one was something that stuck out in my eyes of someone kind of doing anything a little bit incorrect, was Plessinger. So let's start with the winner, which is Muskin. So I feel why was he so fast? He's not doing anything different than anybody else. He's not jumping something that nobody else is jumping. He's not going through the whoops faster than anybody else. He's not pulling a big lead off to start. To me, it's in between every jump. And what I feel that he's doing is in between every jump, he's just a little bit behind what Kenny and those other guys are with their body. So he's a little bit more patient. So as you see, every time he lands in that transition, he's in this position and gives it a lot of gas. He compresses into the bike. He compresses it and gives it a lot of gas to power through that transition, and then he comes forward. And Muskin kind of comes forward a little bit more like that instead of with the whole body straight and the legs up. And so he's very fast in that transition. And that's what I feel he starts to pull away just a little bit through that straight rhythm, where you're going to see Kenny and the rest of the guys, yeah, it's good for Supercross, but their bodies are moving maybe a little sooner than Muskin, so they're going to have to let off a little bit coming up the face of the jump, because if my body is going forward and I give it a shit ton of gas, well, I might overshoot that jump. Bringing your body forward sooner will keep the bike lower possibly, but you're going to have to let off a little bit more on the face because you're going forward already, where Muskin has a little bit of a compression, then he comes forward, where those guys are compressing and coming forward maybe a little bit sooner, and that could slow them down just a little bit because you got to chop it, be a little bit more tentative off the face of it than what Muskin is powering in between the jumps and then coming forward. All right, so that's one thing that I saw of why Muskin was maybe a teeny bit faster than, let's say, the most talented, cleanest, smoothest rider around. But then you look at Plessinger, and this is where I saw a lot of things go wrong. Every jump he did this. Every jump he did, he went backwards. He went backwards with his upper body, backwards with his body like this, and it was so apparent because every jump he went is almost like he stalled in the air. And you're saying, oh, well, Plessinger's amazing. He's an amazing rider, but everybody can be better. And if you want to doubt what I see, then go re-watch the race, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Is every jump Plessinger went back like this. Well, if there's no momentum in the middle when I'm in the air, wheels off the ground, and 170 pounds, let's say he is or more, is going away from the motorcycle, well, that's going to slow the bike up. Because why do riders come forward with the motorcycle and pass people? Well, if you go forward with the motorcycle, that makes that motorcycle go a little bit more in that forward direction, especially if there's no power wheels on the ground. But if you go away from the motorcycle, well, that's going to slow it up a little bit. And again, when you're going those speeds, it only takes a little bit. But you add up 30 jumps of going backwards, well, now you're going to have that gap. Now, if you have the guy going forward off every jump, well, then you're going to have that gap. So that's the one thing I saw with Plessinger, always going backwards off every jump, and that's why he kind of stalled in the air and didn't really do as good as maybe his talent allowed. This is what I saw between Kenny and Muskin, is Muskin powering in between the jumps and then coming forward, where Roxon was coming forward maybe a little too soon, maybe trying to scrub it a little bit too much, and then you got to chop the gas just a little bit. But at that pace, chopping the gas just a little bit is going to be that one wheel which Muskin beat him by every time. So again, maybe rewatch it, see what I see, and then take that to the track for yourself.